The galaxy was dying. Stars flickered and dimmed, resources dwindled, and civilizations crumbled. The remnants of humanity clung to survival on overcrowded, resource-starved planets. Yet even in despair, the human spirit endured, with the crew of the Stardust carrying the hopes of a dying race. The Stardust, a relic of a bygone era, stood as a symbol of humanity's unwavering spirit. Its scarred hull and outdated technology told stories of resilience. The crew, a mismatched collection of survivors, manned their stations with a shared belief in their mission's importance. At the helm of the Stardust stood Captain Anya Petrova, a woman forged in the fires of a dying galaxy. She carried the weight of her responsibility with quiet grace, her gaze fixed on the vast expanse of space. Anya was determined to honor the sacrifices of countless souls and see their mission through to the end. Months bled into years as the Stardust journeyed through the desolate expanse of the galaxy. Then one fateful day, a faint signal rippled across the Stardust's aging sensors, stirring the embers of hope within the weary crew. The signal, weak and intermittent, originated from a remote nebula, offering a chance they couldn't ignore. As the Stardust plunged deeper into the nebula, the signal grew stronger, revealing a world teeming with life. Emerging from the planet's surface was a structure of impossible size and complexity, hinting at a level of technological advancement that defied comprehension. The Stardust moved into orbit, its sensors working overtime to analyze the ancient structure. Anya assembled a landing party to explore the ancient structure and determine if this planet could be their new home. The shuttle descended towards the planet's surface, landing on a platform that seemed polished by time itself. Anya, taking a deep breath, stepped forward into the dimly lit corridor, leading her team into the unknown. Anya led her team deeper into the alien structure, the silence broken only by the hiss of their respirators. The walls, adorned with intricate carvings and symbols, seemed to writhe and shift in the flickering light. Anya, her pulse quickening, couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. As they ventured deeper, the air grew heavy with an unseen energy, and a low hum vibrated within their bones. The corridor opened into a vast chamber, where a sphere of pure energy pulsed with an eerie light. Ethereal beings emerged from the shadows, their eyes burning with an ancient alien intelligence. Anya raised her hand in a gesture of peace, but the beings studied them with detached curiosity. One being, resembling a humanoid shape, stepped forward and intoned, "This place is forbidden." Anya, struggling to keep her voice steady, explained their search for a new home, but the being replied, "Your presence disrupts the balance." The beings vanished as quickly as they had appeared, and the sphere pulsed with a steady rhythm. Anya turned to her team, saying, "We need to leave, now." But the corridor behind them was gone, replaced by a wall of solid metal, trapping them within the dying structure. Panic surged through Anya. Her mind raced, desperately seeking a way out. The structure groaned around them, a symphony of metal fatigue and impending collapse. The air crackled with energy, the stench of ozone stinging her nostrils. "Anya, there has to be another way out." Her words echoed in the vast chamber, bouncing off the cold, unyielding metal. The air, thick with dust and the smell of ozone, felt heavy, suffocating. "Anya, spread out. Look for anything. A panel, a hatch, anything that might lead to an exit." Their faces, illuminated by the eerie glow of the pulsating sphere, reflected her own fear and determination. They fanned out, their boots kicking up dust as they searched the chamber. Every shadow seemed to writhe, every groan of the structure sent shivers down their spines. Time, Anya knew, was not on their side. Anya, her heart pounding against her ribs, scanned the chamber walls, her helmet light cutting through the gloom. The carvings, once a source of fascination, now seemed menacing, their strange symbols mocking their plight. They had stumbled into something ancient, something powerful, and now it was turning on them. Minutes stretched into an eternity as they searched, their hope dwindling with each passing moment. The air grew heavy, the temperature dropping steadily. The structure groaned and shuddered around them, a symphony of impending doom.
"Captain, I found something."
It was Lieutenant Zhao, his voice edged with urgency. He stood before a section of wall that glowed faintly, the intricate carvings pulsing with an otherworldly light. Anya rushed to his side, her heart leaping with a flicker of hope. "Anya, good eye, Lieutenant. See if you can interface with it." Zhao, their resident tech expert, pulled out a small handheld device and began scanning the wall, his brow furrowed in concentration. The structure groaned again, a sound that sent shivers down their spines. Dust rained down from the ceiling, a constant reminder of their precarious situation. Anya, her gaze darting between Zhao and the pulsating sphere, felt a surge of adrenaline. They were running out of time.
Almost there, Captain. This technology, it's like nothing I've ever seen.
Beads of sweat dripped from his forehead, a testament to the pressure he was under. Just as Zhao thought he had a lock on the alien technology, a deafening roar shook the chamber. The floor beneath their feet tilted violently, throwing them off balance. Anya, her heart leaping into her throat, looked up to see cracks spiderweb across the ceiling, glowing lines of energy pulsing through them.
It's breaking apart, or it's the planet!
Through the widening fissures in the ceiling, Anya could see the terrifying truth. The planet outside, the haven they had hoped to find, was ripping itself apart. The ancient structure, no longer able to contain the dying world's energy, was collapsing in on itself. "Anya, we're running out of time! Zhao, status!" They were literally running out of time, the ground beneath their feet threatening to crumble and send them plummeting into the abyss. Zhao, his face pale, looked up from his device, his eyes wide with fear.
I'm sorry, Captain. I can't get it to work. This technology, it's beyond anything I can crack.
His words hit Anya like a physical blow. They were trapped, doomed to die within this collapsing tomb. Despair threatened to engulf her, but Anya, her spirit forged in the fires of a dying galaxy, refused to give in. If they were going to die, they would die fighting. She would not let the sacrifices of her crew, the hopes of her people, be extinguished without a fight. Anya's mind raced, a whirlwind of fear and determination. The chamber groaned around them, the floor tilting precariously beneath their feet. They were trapped, with death looming above and below. But Anya Petrova had not survived the harsh realities of a dying galaxy to surrender to despair, not while a single spark of hope remained. "We're not giving up," she shouted, her voice ringing with a conviction that belied the fear gnawing at her gut. "There's always a way out." Her gaze swept over her team, their faces a mixture of terror and grim determination. "Lieutenant Zhao, keep working on that panel," she ordered, her voice brooking no argument. "The rest of you, with me. We need to find another way out, and fast." The floor lurched again, sending a tremor through their bones. Time, she knew, was their most precious commodity, and they were rapidly running out of it. She scanned the chamber, her gaze sweeping over every nook and cranny, searching for a way out, a hidden passage, anything that might offer a glimmer of hope. They scrambled over piles of rubble, the dust choking their lungs, the air thick with the smell of ozone and impending doom. The structure groaned and shuddered around them, a wounded beast lashing out in its death throes. They pressed on, driven by a primal instinct to survive, a desperate hope against all odds. Section 2. Back to the Stardust. As Anya and her team navigated the treacherous labyrinth of the collapsing structure, a desperate plan began to form in her mind. Their only chance, she realized, lay not within the bowels of this dying world but above, in the relative safety of the Stardust. "We're not going to make it out of here alive," Lieutenant Ramirez said, his voice tight with fear, echoing her own unspoken thoughts. He was a good officer, loyal and capable, but the fear in his eyes mirrored the despair creeping into their hearts. "We're not giving up," Anya snapped, her voice sharp, cutting through the despair threatening to engulf them. "Our only chance is to get back to the Stardust." She looked at each member of her team, her gaze unwavering. If we can just reach the shuttle. The thought hung in the air, a fragile lifeline in a sea of uncertainty. The shuttle. It was a long shot, a desperate gamble, but it was their only hope. If they could just make it back to the landing platform, they might have a chance. But every instant screamed a plaint of free, to put as much distance as possible between themselves and this dying world. Yet Anya knew deep down that there was no escape, not through. The structure was collapsing, the planet was dying, and they were trapped at the heart of it. Their only hope lay in defying those instincts and running towards the danger back to the heart of the storm. Section 3. A Legacy of Knowledge. The journey back to the shuttle was a blur of adrenaline and terror. The structure shook and groaned around them, the air thick with dust and the acrid smell of ozone. Each step was a gamble, each breath a victory. They reached the landing platform just as the ground beneath their feet gave way. Anya, with a desperate lunge, grabbed the shuttle's hatch and hauled herself inside, her team close behind. They collapsed on the deck, gasping for breath, their bodies battered but their spirits unbroken. "Zhao, get us out of here," Anya yelled, her voice hoarse but filled with an urgency that spurred the young lieutenant into action. He scrambled to his station, his fingers flying across the control panel. The shuttle shuddered, its engines struggling to life as the world crumbled around them. Through the viewport, Anya watched in horror as the ancient structure, once a testament to a glorious past, crumbled into dust. They had escaped, but at a terrible cost, as the Stardust, a beacon of hope against the dying light of a fading galaxy, sped away from the doomed planet. Anya knew that their mission had taken an unexpected turn. They had not found the haven they sought, but they had uncovered something far greater, a legacy of knowledge, a warning from a civilization long vanished. They carried with them the burden of that knowledge, a heavy weight upon their souls. The ancient civilization, they now understood, had been destroyed by its own hubris, its relentless pursuit of knowledge, leading to its own destruction. It was a sobering thought, a reminder that even the most advanced civilizations were not immune to the consequences of their actions. Anya, her gaze fixed on the vast expanse of space, knew that their journey was far from over. They had escaped one danger only to face countless others. But they also carried with them the hope, however faint, that they might learn from the mistakes of the past, that they might forge a new destiny for their people amidst the ruins of a dying galaxy. Section 1. A Cosmic Sacrifice. The weight of the dying planet's legacy pressed heavily on Anya's shoulders. The ancient civilization's warning echoed in her ears. They had stumbled upon a power beyond their comprehension, a power capable of unimaginable destruction. The data they had salvaged from the ruins was fragmented, incomplete, but it painted a terrifying picture of a civilization that had reached too far, too fast, and paid the ultimate price. Years turned into decades. Anya, her hair now streaked with silver, became a legend, her name whispered in hushed tones among the scattered remnants of humanity. The Stardust, battered but unbowed, became a symbol of hope, a testament to the indomitable spirit of their people. They continued their journey, their mission now twofold: to find a new home for their people, and to safeguard the galaxy from the ancient power they had uncovered. Anya, haunted by the memory of the dying planet, vowed that they would not repeat the mistakes of the past. The data they had recovered spoke of a way to harness the energy, a way to control it, but the knowledge was incomplete, fraught with danger. Yet Anya knew deep down that they had no other choice. The power existed, and to ignore it, to pretend it wasn't there, would be to court disaster. A plan began to form in Anya's mind, a desperate gamble, a last-ditch effort to save their people and atone for the sins of a long-dead civilization. She would use the Stardust, their battered but faithful vessel, as a conduit, a shield, to contain the energy, to study it, to understand it. Section 2, A Legacy Ignited. The day of the experiment arrived. Anya, her hand trembling slightly, initiated the sequence. The Stardust shuddered, caught in the grip of forces beyond human comprehension. Energy coursed through the ship, its hull glowing with an eerie, otherworldly light. "This is it," Anya whispered, her voice barely audible above the roar of the energy swirling around them. "May the stars guide us." She closed her eyes, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek. This was their final journey, their last act of defiance against a dying galaxy. The Stardust, engulfed in a blinding flash of light, vanished. In its place, a single brilliant star blazed for a brief moment, then faded into the tapestry of the cosmos. Anya Petrova, captain of the Stardust, and her crew were gone, their sacrifice a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. But their legacy lived on. The energy they had harnessed, controlled, and released spread out across the galaxy, a wave of cosmic renewal. It breathed life into dying stars, ignited new ones, and carried with it the knowledge, the warning, of the ancient civilization. In the millennia that followed, new civilizations rose, flourished, and eventually faded away, their stories etched into the fabric of the cosmos. And among them, the legend of Anya Petrova, the last Starfarer, was passed down through generations, a tale of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring power of hope. The Stardust, the long gone, became a symbol, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, a single spark of hope can ignite the universe. And as long as that spark remained, the legacy of Anya Petrova, a beacon in the vast expanse of space, would continue to shine.